This episode is a big thank you to all our new subscribers that are coming to our channel all the way from India.
ये जौन अजीत बाबू है ना, ये दूठो साथी लेके हमारे गांव आ रहे शिकार के लिए।
To all of you we say, we see you guys and we thank you.
मुड़ जाओ, चले गए वो लोग।
चले हाँ भाग गए। हाँ अरे भाग गए। अरे माँ का दूध पिया तो एक एक करके आओ।
माँ का दूध पिया तो एक एक करके आओ।
It's very overwhelming. For years I've been wanting to come to Morocco. When I was a kid, my father told me the only place that you need to visit in your lifetime is Morocco. So this is my first time and I thank you. Yeah.
मैं एक कौड़ी भी इन भिखारियों के नाम नहीं होने दूंगा, बल्कि तुझको और तेरे इस परिवार को भी मौत के नाम कर।
What is the meaning of your name?
Meaning India.
India. I don't know ये मेरे को किस तरीके से लेके जा रही हैं।
Both me and Mike love Indian food and Indian music.
Love and affection and respect with the Moroccan people.
And me in particular, I have a love for the Indian cultures that goes way back, all the way to Morocco, where I was born and raised the first 10 years of my life. So maybe as an idea, I thought it would be nice to share something about that with you guys in this video, and I really hope you like it. It's an ode to you and to India and the Indian culture. It all started with a guy named Kishin Chandi Ramani, born in 1944 in Pakistan when it was still part of India. His family worked hard and established a fabric business. It's what his family inherited from their ancestors, as he said in an interview with the Zaman Arabic newspaper. As a second language, in his family, they all spoke French in their household, especially because the majority, as I said, of Kishin Chandi family were born in the parts of Asia that were occupied back then by France. By the time India got its independence, the situation got worse, and his family had to leave the country to look for a better life elsewhere. Kishin Chandi's father then went to Lebanon. That was around 1953. The main reason for this choice is because people spoke also French in this country, so the language barrier wasn't going to be a problem. But because of the crisis in Lebanon in the 50s, life got less comfortable there too. And again, Kishin's father decided to move and keep finding ways to provide for them. He then ended up in Morocco, to be more specific, in the city of Tangier. By then, the city of Tangier was an international city. It got a lot of attention. A lot of tourists were coming and going from and to it. So it was well established and had a lot of economical traffic, if you will, which meant enough opportunities for the businessmen like Kishin Chandi's father with his expertise. Moroccans love fabric as much as Indians love good fabric, and they love making their own clothes. So it was the best place to be. In 1954, Kishin Chandi's family was not the only Indian family living in Morocco. In fact, they were only one of 5,000 Indian families living there, and it was all fine. The only thing that was hard for them at that point was flying back and forth between Morocco and India. To be more specific, from Morocco, Tangier to Mumbai. It took a couple of days as you had to hop from one plane to another. And if you were to travel by boat, that would take even longer. That would take a couple of weeks. So, to keep up the fabric business was really a hard challenge. All this time, his father was looking for ways to bring his entire family eventually to live with him in Morocco, step by step. Kishin Shandi himself was brought to Morocco in 1959. And right after this, the family kind of broke apart. Some of his older brothers went back to India, others went to find work in Algeria, and from Algeria to France. But Kishin Shandi chose to stay in Morocco. He kept selling clothes and fabrics until one day he got the idea of bringing more from India to Morocco than just fabrics. He decided that he was going to be the ambassador for the Indian movie in North Africa, and that he was going to introduce Bollywood movies to Moroccan movie theaters. It proved to be a great business idea. Moroccan people fell instantly in love with this exotic, different culture. Movies full of life, colors, beautiful cinematic shots of beautiful places in India, happy music, songs, dance. It became an instant smash hit. The Bollywood movies, they got very famous and very big and so loved in Morocco. New Indian movies kept coming to Moroccan theaters. And this big success remained all the way to mid-90s. Not because the Moroccan audience got tired of them, but because for some reason, the Moroccan movie theaters investors started to pull out. And of the 500 movie theaters that existed back then in the Kingdom of Morocco, only 50 remained. And that, of course, was a major reason that brought the Bollywood success in Morocco to almost a full stop. But not entirely. The movies went from the big screen to the TVs inside the Moroccan homes. This started around 1985. Again, the success of Bollywood in Moroccan homes on Moroccan TVs was huge. I remember as a kid how everyone, including myself and our neighbors in our neighborhood, made sure that Friday, which was the day that these movies got aired on TV, was a day free of any obligations. People skipped even work and school, and in some cases even family gatherings and important appointments, just to make sure that when the Indian movie came on TV, there was nothing that could distract them from watching it. I remember days when our electricity would fall out, the stress we and our direct neighbors would experience, desperately going around knocking on doors to see who still had their TV on their car batteries going and still had some space for us to join them in their living room. On many of these occasions, we would sit in an overcrowded living room and watch the movie on one of these little Sony portable wireless TVs that worked on batteries. Sometimes we were sitting all the way back in the room and all you could see were tiny shapes on this tiny TV screen. But it was okay. We didn't understand the Indian language anyway back then. So the highlights were the dance numbers and the songs. But at the same time, the movies were so clear in their message that the language was not really necessary for you to be able to follow the plot. The acting was over the top, and I say that in the most sincere way. The way they addressed universal issues like family feuds, love, fighting for acceptance and tolerance, fighting against the unjust elite, and so on and so on. It was all done in very basic, exaggerated ways that language was not needed to understand the movie and what it's all about. So in a way, watching an Indian movie, to me as a Moroccan kid that did not speak Hindi, was like watching a movie from the silent era almost. You don't need the sound to keep following the progress of the plot. And I truly believe that this is one of the major reasons why these movies were such a success in Morocco, because they were so accessible and easy to follow. Despite the major difference in language, culture, religion, rituals aspect that were portrayed elaborately in every movie. On the contrary, it was this what made these movies so fascinating for us, to discover and learn about new culture, which to me is a compliment to the Moroccans, because it confirms that we are a nation that is open to new ideas, new cultures, discovering new things, learning about other nations. So, just for the sake of keeping this video short, I'm gonna stop here, but before I do, I'm gonna share with you my top 5 favorite Bollywood movies of all time. It's really hard since I have so many, but I need to keep it short. Number 5, Devdas. Number 4, Mughal-e-Azam. Number 3, Amar Akbar Anthony. Number 2, Pakiza. Number 1, Mother India. Other movies that have definitely a place in my heart, whether because of the story or the dance and the music or both, are Du Biga Zamin, Dosti, Veera Zara. Last but not least, Nagina. Especially this one. It's the first Bollywood movie for me to see in an actual movie theater, and my first time in a movie theater ever. I was 7 when it reached the Moroccan movie theaters. The idea that a snake can transform and shapeshift into an actual woman blowed my mind as a 7-year-old kid. And I kept questioning and asking myself, is she a woman turning into a snake, or is she a snake turning into a woman? Another thing, she fought against other snakes to protect the guy she loved. Were those snakes that she was fighting against also shapeshifters or regular snakes? All kind of questions that kept a 7-year-old mind busy for almost a week. Anyway, I tried to keep this video lighthearted, and I hope you guys can appreciate it and enjoy it. Thank you for all the movies that you shared with us. Thank you for sharing with us your culture. But specifically on this channel, we would love to thank you for joining us and the way you guys, all of you, subscribe to our channel. Thank you so much.